protecting Main Street from Wall Street. It's Chris Hoffman with Money Unleashed.
How much money do you put into your checking account from work on a month-to-month basis? It has a high probability that with your investable assets, we can replace that paycheck.
It's time to put you back in control of your money.
You've worked for 35 years. It's time for you to not stress. It's time for you to enjoy and live the retirement you want to live.
It's Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman.
Welcome to the Money Unleashed podcast, powered by the Hoffman Financial Group. I'm here with Chris Hoffman as always. Before we get started on today's show, make sure you subscribe to Money Unleashed wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to check us out on Sundays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WSB in Atlanta. Now, I think most of us have probably pictured what retirement will look like. Maybe even put some real thought into where we'll live, how we'll spend our days, and when exactly that next chapter is going to begin. But as we know, life does not always go according to plan. An unexpected job change, a health issue, a family need, those things can sometimes lead to retiring earlier than expected. So what happens if that day comes sooner than planned? Does your retirement strategy include a what-if scenario? It can feel daunting, but an earlier than expected retirement doesn't have to derail your goals. With some flexibility and smart adjustments in planning, you can still chart the course that fits your new circumstances. Even if the route changes, you're still holding on to the map. Schwab provided a few steps that could help guide the way, Chris. I wanted to go over these, and it starts with stress testing your 401k and IRA savings. We call it that portfolio x-ray.
I don't like the word stress test because that's basically telling you what would happen if the market goes down and how much money you would lose.
Yeah.
I mean, let's tear this thing down to the floorboards and really understand what your asset allocation mix is, what your benchmarks should be that you're comparing your portfolio's performance against, and how much are you getting eaten alive in fees? Those are what goes into a portfolio x-ray. A stress test, it's just going to depress you. You're going to be told, if the market goes down, you could lose 20%. If the market goes down, you could lose 30 or 40. They're going to go back test it and give you a stress test. Yeah, we'll do that in the portfolio x-ray too, but that's not to shock you or to put fear into you. It's to basically state the facts and then move on to, hey, here's all the other goodies in here that we can talk about. When you say you still hold the map, that's pertinent.
Yeah.
You need a GPS, right? We're done with the maps. Now we got updated technology and we can click the button on retirement and literally create a GPS for you to navigate this drive or this journey. So you do need a map. You need the GPS. You don't need a stress test. You need a portfolio x-ray. So if you want to upgrade Schwab, call Hoffman Financial Group at 404-341-6767 or go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray. That will give you a lot more than just a stress test. But step number one is critical in knowing where you stand.
Because that helps you get where you want to go.
That's right.
Financial GPS could come in handy there. I like that. So how about step number two, thinking strategically about pension, Social Security benefits, or other guaranteed income? We always talk about the importance of knowing where those streams are.
Yep. Pensions, that's an obvious one. If you have a pension, you have to determine, all right, what age am I able to trigger it? How much will it pay me? How much will it pay my spouse if I do spousal continuance, and how much would that lower my payment? So do you trigger on single life or do you trigger on joint life? Big time decisions that need to be analyzed. There's a third option potentially that you need to analyze with pensions. Is there a lump sum option? So we can study for you that lump sum option and give you examples of various investments in how that would perform for you. Let me give you an example. If the cash value of your pension would produce as much income for you as the pension payment, and it's highly reliable, it's not guaranteed, it's highly reliable. Let's say it's dividend stocks or fixed income. You can then analyze, do I want to take a little bit of risk or whatever amount of risk is in that portfolio to generate that income, but I get to keep that principal investment amount to potentially use later on growth versus giving that money to a corporation or an entity to just pay me out over time. So that's strategic thinking on pensions. Let's move on to Social Security benefits, which gets even more complicated. There are hundreds of ways you and your spouse can trigger Social Security, different ages. one triggers first, the next one triggers later, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have to run an analysis on that to see what the crossover dates are. You have to make assumptions that I think largely are missed when people do this analysis on their own. And here's what I'm talking about. If you were to turn on Social Security at 67 versus 70, the analysis you're doing is how many years would it take for us to cross over and make more money if we were to defer payments until we're 70. That analysis, although accurate, does not include one component that's extremely important. And that component is, if you collect that money and you invest it, how much could you reliably or conservatively make? And that'll push that crossover date out from, let's say, age 82 to age 84, 84 to 86, or whatever the number is. But the point of it is, do not discount the fact that if you, A, need the money for income because you're retiring before age 70, which most of us hopefully will, that's one consideration to make. I need the money. Do I pull it from stocks? Do I sell out of positions? I would say that requires quite an analysis. Okay, so that's one option. I need the money. The other option is I can invest the money and preserve the rest of my portfolio and make money off of Social Security, and I also get COLA increases, which is nice. So that's a little bit about Social Security benefits. Much more to come if you want us to run a Social Security analysis for you. And this last piece here is very intriguing. Guaranteed income. Guaranteed income is defined roughly as Social Security, pensions, or income annuities. In the absence of pensions, it is not uncommon to run full annuity income reports, meaning we'll take a look at the A-rated carriers out there and get them to bid on, if you invested $100,000 in an income annuity and waited X amount of years, how much could that pay you? How much could that pay you and your spouse? It kind of looks like, feels like, seems like a pension. It's not technically a pension. It's insured by that individual insurance company and guaranteed by them, but it is largely considered guaranteed income because it's a commitment from an insurance company to pay you for the rest of your life. Those are three items, and what's unique about them is they pay you forever, meaning you're forever. So you don't have to worry about when you're passing away. Mm-hmm. If you pass away early and you have an income annuity, the remaining cash in that income annuity goes onto your beneficiaries, so you didn't sacrifice the whole principal. That's if you pass away early. Or if you live to 100, you've got the insurance company cursing your name every time they write you a check going, when's this guy going to pass away? We're way out of pocket for all of this money. Yeah. So those three items, pension, Social Security, and guaranteed income through a guaranteed income annuity, they are largely the only things that are guaranteed for a lifetime. So they can be powerful.
And that's why we wanted to spend a good amount of time on those particular items. A couple of more, though, on this list. Protecting your portfolio. I think that goes without saying. We love the growth, but we need to make sure the protection's in there as well.
Yeah, and the number one way to protect a stock portfolio is what, folks? Hold it. Mm-hmm. Do not panic. Do not build your entire retirement lifestyle around, I'm going to need this money, I'm going to sell these stocks to pay for my lifestyle. Have your guaranteed and highly reliable income sources to do that, and then you will not be forced to sell out of good, solid stocks when the market takes a bit of a tumble.
Now, this is important and just one of those nice little exercises to get you ready for retirement, just evaluating your spending and creating a post-retirement spending plan.
And now you've scared everybody. I didn't
even use the beat word.
I know. This is the hardest thing for folks that call us and come in for a first meeting. Actually, I don't even think to a large extent we bring it up in the first meeting, but eventually when you get into the full financial planning, you've got to know, right? You got to know how much spending. And spouses will look at one another and we go, well, we have no idea. Yeah. They'll also underestimate how much they spend by excusing the large expenses, the $10,000 event, the $20,000 event. Folks, those events are going to happen every year, either because they're needs or their wants. So evaluating your spending, it's not a scary thing. First, we'll do an income plan. So we take the first step by telling you how much your financial life can comfortably and reliably send you in income. From there, then you can back that number into how much you're spending annually. It's a less intrusive way of doing it, and it doesn't hold you accountable to nailing the expense number. We'll share with you how much income we can send you reliably. You go back, absorb that, analyze that for a period of time. That should set you up to analyze your spending needs in retirement.
I just want to clarify for anybody who's wondering, the B word I mentioned, It's budget. I didn't there. Spending plan. We like that much better. Last one on this list is not forgetting about health insurance. We can cover that, but I also wanted to know if there's anything you'd add to this list for people to just be cognizant of.
Yeah, and this is financial advisory person being cognizant of it, which is tax strategies and everything your advisory team does for you, you have to have in writing, folks. Talk is cheap. Show me the plan. Show me the asset classes. Show me the income you're going to distribute. Show me the Social Security analysis. Show me an analysis on my pension. Show me what an income annuity can do. Show me how much dividends. Map it all out. Show me the impact of inflation over a 30-year period. You need an advisory team to put it all in writing so there's never any mystery. It's never dependent on stock market growing in retirement. If the stock market is flat, run the analysis. How would you do? Would you be able to generate enough income off of a flat market for an extended period of time to afford a comfortable, rewarding, perfect retirement life? If the answer to that is yes, you're in good shape. You also need to include things like tax strategies in there and obviously a more robust portfolio x-ray versus a stress test.
Well, obviously, we just covered a lot there, and there are a lot of different components that go into that financial plan. But the important thing is you need to take action. You need to get this plan put together, and a great way to get that started is the Portfolio X-Ray, and there's no cost whatsoever for that. Just give us a call at 404-341-6767. That's 404-341-6767, or sign up online at unleashyourmoney.com. There's a box right there, Portfolio X-Ray. You can click on that to get in touch with Hoffman Financial Group and schedule your time to sit down with one of our great advisors. Chris Hoffman is an investment advisor representative of Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor and affiliate of Brookstone Capital Management, LLC. BWA and Hoffman Financial Group are affiliated under common ownership. Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosures of any conflicts of interest. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV 2A, page 4, for additional information. The Hoffman Financial Group and WSB are not affiliated. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. This information should not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the field of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Any client experiences discussed during the show are unique to that client. They are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims-paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Index or fixed annuities are not designed for short-term investments and may be subject to caps, restrictions, fees, and surrender charges as described in the annuity contract. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV 2A, item 4, for additional information. Hoffman Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Insurance licensed in Georgia, number 163546.